Welcome everyone to the Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 meeting. We're going to start this evening with a special presentation. We have representatives from First United Bank. Denise Hess and Brandy Hellman are here this evening. As the public may be aware, Council a few months ago made a transition in our financial institutions for our banking needs. And when we met with First United some time ago, they had talked about their commitment to our community as one of the last, I guess the last bank in Smithsburg. They wanted to make sure that they continued their partnership with our community and our town. I know that they participated in National Night Out a few weeks ago, and they had participated in other events throughout the time. But when we had those conversations, they really showed a desire to increase that commitment to our community. So tonight, Denise and Brandy are here to present the town of Smithsburg and the Smithsburg Police Department as a part of our Cinnamon Bun Fun Run, and the proceeds eventually going to our Shop with a Cop, a check for that event. I'll let you kind of describe, if you want to come up before you do the check presentation and kind of describe what the original amount was, where that came from, and then maybe we'll save the finale for what it is when we actually do the check presentation.
Sure. So a few years ago, First United decided to create its own foundation to help with causes like this, called the First United Dreams Foundation. And with that, we submitted to ask for $5,000 to the town of Smithsburg. That ultimately was approved, and then First United Bank and Trust Corporation did a corporate match of $5,000. So today we are going to be presenting a check for $10,000 to the town of Smithsburg.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
nice. Great.
Thank you. So Chief, if you wouldn't mind coming up, Earlene, do you have a phone?
I do.
Do you mind grabbing a couple pictures?
I can do that.
We'll do one first, and then we'll get the council to come up after that. Oh, this can. Sneak in. Hey, we'll all sneak in. Chief, get in here.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Now, council, please. Yeah, we'll scoot over a little bit so everybody can sneak in.
That's awesome.
Right, this is great.
Tell me what's a big check.
Yeah, that's what it was. Bring the big check. Everybody in?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shop with a cop. Okay. There we go.
Thank you so much. Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Yes, thank you. Chief, I'm sure I share your sentiments when I say that this event has grown since its inception. As far as the Cinnamon Bun Fun Run, and you've been able to grow the Shop with a Cop program that was started by Chief Knight years ago, and it continues to get better, and we're so thankful that we have community partners like First United Bank that can help us continue to grow this and provide for families in our community that around the holidays don't have that. So we look forward to continuing that transition, and we will see you guys back in October for the financial review, and thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. With that, I would ask Councilwoman McCormick to lead us in the pledge. So if you can stand, please rise. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Kathy. Is there approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Okay, that was easy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next thing is the approval of the meeting minutes for August 12th, 2025. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Any comment or changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain for lack of attendance.
Okay. Motion carries. Treasurer's report. Any questions or comment for Jenny?
Motion to approve as distributed.
I'll second it.
Any comment or question for Jenny? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We did receive both reports from the Smithsburg Community Volunteer Fire Company and Sims. You can see that they've been pretty busy here over the last few weeks and months, and we appreciate them taking the time to get those reports into us. The mayor's report, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. Along with Town Manager Brian Brandt, attended a virtual meeting with Jim Kirchhoff and John Fosra of the Greater Hagerstown Coalition to discuss efforts in the potential securing of funding options for the water and sewer projects that were listed in our PERs. We will continue to attend those virtual meetings with the Greater Hagerstown Coalition, and we'll also keep council advised of the Washington County Day that'll be in January of 2026. It is typically the last Wednesday of January, but we'll let you know that date when it is finalized. That discussion, Brian, I think went pretty well.
Excellent.
We did, they encouraged us to continue to seek as many avenues for funding as we could. They were happy to hear that we've received some of that ARPA funds from the county, potentially the clean water money, the federal dollars on the water side from, potentially from the FY26 budget, federal budget. So we'll continue to look down those options, and then on September 16th, when Mrs. Rader is here, we'll be able to ask questions, John, regarding municipal bonding. So Brian and I did last meeting in our report, we did meet with the county, but it might not be a bad idea to ask her a couple questions directly on what steps we need to do in the municipal bonding side. Just a reminder to everyone, students are back in school in our area, and this will increase the number of walkers and riders throughout our town and on our roads throughout our community. Please be mindful of the additional traffic when planning your travel and drive with caution. Would like to thank the members of the Smithsburg Police Department on behalf of members of the Washington County Roads Department who assisted them recently on a call for service just outside of town. The staff of the Roads Department were extremely appreciative of your professional demeanor and courteous approach toward the unhappy resident at the time of the call. Bless you, John. And then just, bless you again, just a couple quick reminders. Smithsburg Goes Purple is Saturday, September 13th, 2025, from 10 to 2 p.m., Veterans Park. Speakers will speak around 12:30 p.m. with an honor walk to follow to support those fighting and to remember those who have lost their lives to overdose. For additional information, you can contact Crystal Allen at crystal.awareness@gmail.com. And as we saw earlier with the presentation from First United Bank, Smithsburg's Cinnamon Bun Fun Run is also September 13th, 2025. The race begins at 11 a.m. Registration will start at 9 a.m. The day of. I think there is still 2 days left to do it online, correct? Thanks, Arlene, for the reminder post. And that's at the Pavilion at Veterans Park. It will not be at the elementary school. It'll be at the Pavilion. And all those proceeds, as we talked about earlier, will go with Shop with a Cop. And then I'm sure, Chief, if there's anything else you want to add, you can update me there when you do your report.
I'll be altering the website so that way the cutoff date is in 2 days.
Okay,
It will run right up until the end.
perfect. Unless there's any questions for me, I'll turn it over to Brian.
I got along very well with the treasurer's report. I wanted to ask one request for the treasurer's report. I'll go back to that, I'm sorry.
Sure.
The last page there is the restricted funds. Can we have that as a rolling 12 months instead of the 12 current fiscal year months? The benefit of that is to be able to go back and see the change over time as we're looking.
That's confusing.
What's confusing, you just have the current balance and.
Well, because I'm used to the fiscal, I'm not used to the calendar.
Well, no, not calendar, just rolling.
John, I'm not sure what
Well-
you're asking.
I mean, I think both are, you're talking about the restricted funds?
Yeah.
I think both would be valuable.
By having rolling, you have both. You always have the most recent 12 months when you're on the.
Okay, I see what you're saying, okay. I see.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
now I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
You good, Jenny? Okay.
thank you. Sorry, Ken.
All right, and as I've warned you guys, I'm not fully done with bronchitis, so I'm gonna try to get through this without losing a lung. County Commissioners have approved the takeover of all permits and inspections for the town, everything went effective as of September 1st. Washington County, the 250th anniversary celebration committee, that will be going on in 2026, is hoping to have 100% attendance from all communities in Washington County at their events for next year. So we're looking for volunteers who would be interested in attending, passing on information about our community, businesses, etc. Initially, Mayor Souders and I were hoping to have the EDC to do this, but they have declined. We were hoping to be able to get the word out about businesses and thought this would be a golden opportunity to do it. So if we get some volunteers, we still think it's a great opportunity to help the businesses in town. Attended the virtual meeting with Mayor Souders, Jim Kirchhoff, John Fabs. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's hard to pronounce things when I'm coughing like this. At the Greater Hagerstown Coalition to discuss potential funding options for future PER projects. Had a meeting with Antietam Cable to discuss the upgrade in internet services to fiber in light of the increase. We're having issues with the internet dropping out as well as a number of phone calls since everything's internet-based. Unfortunately, that we have people believing that we're hanging up on them, even when we're not hanging up on them.
That's not good.
And effective within our next meeting, September 16th, 2025, we'll be broadcasting our meetings on YouTube. Unfortunately, we found out that it's not going to be 2026 that Facebook stops archiving your meetings. They're at the point now where they're already dropping them out. So, yeah, have Cermak coming in to get on YouTube, or to get us on YouTube, and then they feel that they can probably get back most of the meetings that have been deleted. Apparently they thought too that it was supposed to be closer to 2026, but apparently Facebook has been doing this since the beginning of the year, where if you put a video on, it's only holding it for a month now. So, yeah, we found that out by accident the other day.
Wow.
Multiple meetings with RK&K MS4 team about upcoming projects and what we need going into next year. Multiple meetings with RK&K to discuss projects, issues, etc. And a copy of the information that you all have requested when Rhiannon was up here for the parks, that's on your desk, so definitely look that over. And just various meetings with residents with concerns and compliments around town.
Wait, what is, where's that on our desks?
Did you not
The-
get this?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's for you, okay, so from,
Yeah,
okay.
Rhiannon pulled any information she could find on the parks. She went ahead and pulled from everything they had in their files when they copied their stuff over.
Okay. Have we talked to Comcast about internet service? Because it sounds like you've
Yes,
had a
we
lot
have.
of issues with
Unfortunately,
AT&T.
Comcast isn't gonna be up, ready to go in this area until next summer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually my first
First
phone call.
And Comcast are the ones that have been laying a lot of cable, right?
Actually, it's been Antietam and Comcast.
Yes, they
Ah.
do.
Okay.
I think they both took advantage of the right-of-way issues and contractors. They kind of come on some of their contractors that.
And we're figuring, if we upgrade to fiber for now, it's maybe about $40 difference a month. That'll give us the extra we need that hopefully is not going to allow, the loss of internet nor the calls dropping out. We've got to do something.
Is that available now? Is
Fiber.
is it available through Antietam now?
The fiber is, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Seems like that's
Yeah,
pretty
details
important.
that you send us as far as what package they're wanting to provide us.
It would be different for residential as a
Okay. I'm just curious what the sales is.
Yeah, we can get that to you. and there is one other thing. I noticed going past, Sims, we have, some posts up now. Sims put posts up. We're gonna have to kind of drop back and punt on this as far as doing our cleanup in the fall. The area that we have down further, I don't believe is gonna be big enough. We're gonna have to evaluate it. I don't think it's gonna be big enough to get the dumpsters in there.
Probably more getting the trucks in and
The
maneuver,
Well, and that's the thing.
because they used to come around the backside of
Mhm.
Sims to drop.
What did Sam do?
Oh, you haven't seen this yet?
They put like fence posts all along the,
They're gonna fence the entire lot.
yeah.
Oh,
Why, why are they doing that?
I think it's an issue with CSX.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I would ask them, I would talk to them about that.
Huh.
But yes, there's going to be a fence and it's gonna run the complete range of their property, so everything that we usually use, we're not gonna have, even without the full fence being in, just with the post, you're never be able to get trucks or anything in there now. And the area, I don't know if you can picture that, it's kind of large area, kind of thick, up where Sims is, and then as you go back.
Yeah.
triangulates down.
Yeah, like on the side, like off the other side of the road from Terry Myers' place, it gets really, really small. In order to get a truck in,
Yeah.
they'd be running their trucks up through the neighbors' yards, and we can't have that. So we're gonna have to rethink what we're gonna do.
Well, and with that, it may be too late then to bid for the fall.
Well, we do have the 1.5 acre lot that has nothing on it as of right now, so that might not be a bad option.
Like those the dumpster trucks, I don't know if I'd wanna put on
Yeah.
that. You're gonna end up destroying that.
So I'm trying to figure out how to remove the truck.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we end up each year, we do end up paying Huntsberry to come in and repair all the damage that we do.
So if, I mean, if we have to do that here anyway, then we're not losing anything by doing it 1.5 acre lot, but, I mean, it is an option.
I mean, we're definitely to the point where we need to sit down and rethink, because this one just kind of popped up, so we need to reevaluate what we're gonna do with that. I mean, it is a possibility. I would just hate to tear all that up out there in front of Whispering Hills, but
Would they be willing to consider using their parking lot space for what we're doing?
I'm sure of that. Their parking lot was damaged during the last event.
I don't know.
Kind of limits our
To
options.
talk, but we could always ask the high school. We got that stone lane down there on the other side where we got the Stevie Craft Show.
Mm.
In and out would be perfect. That road always needs a little stone. If you wanted to do that, talk to the principal. But
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a very good idea.
You got a through way.
Both ways, yeah.
I mean, as long as the Board of Education would be good with it, then
Well, I guess the next step would see if any of them have an available date. And then if we can't get Republican, we have to go to a different service. We have to get pricing.
Water loss, do you have updated numbers?
no. I just got everything in today, we got our numbers, since everything closed yesterday, sat down and figured that out. It's looking to be about what it was last time.
Which was, it was pretty high last time, right?
Yeah, it's down some. So like I said, I haven't computed it out yet.
Okay.
And I also think our sewer number is lower than what we're showing, because I think the county number is incorrect for Village Square.
Yeah, it was 29% last quarter.
You wanna just roll into your Public Works report, since it's already there?
Yeah. I got a better idea. How about, you guys have any questions?
Just wait. Just read it and if you have questions, right?
Any questions on that? If not, we'll move to Chief. Want to come up? Present the public, or the police department and code enforcement information. Good evening.
Good evening.
For the month of August, we had 487 calls for service. 9 of those were handled by the Washington County Sheriff's Office. We assisted the Sheriff's Department here in this county 3 times, Frederick County Sheriff's Office once, the Berkeley County, West Virginia State's Attorney's Office on 1 occasion, as well as the Hagerstown Police Department and also EMS twice. We had 7 traffic citation warnings and a parking ticket issued. Code enforcement officer Jones issued 14 notices of code violations. He also dealt with a complaint of an electrical and wiring issue at 2 addresses located on South Main Street after his inspection. And there was a fire hazard. That property owner quickly abated the problem. And received a full inspection report and certification from the licensed electrician that did the work. So, the town manager mentioned that, the Washington County codes and permitting is in full, working order here in the town, and, Officer Jones has actually partnered with, the head of their division and, has developed a really good working relationship, so, I see things like this probably picking up in the future. And then, we got a total of 480 speed camera violations for the month of August.
That's pretty high, isn't it?
Well,
Camera works now.
and like I said, yeah, the one that was constantly down has not failed 1 time since they upgraded the equipment. Quality's much better, and it's actually, uniquely enough, I can actually watch the speeding violation go through, because it's not just taking a picture, it's also taking a video,
Wow.
which unfortunately, the individual getting the citation doesn't get to review it, because it's just a piece of paper that's filled out, but, yeah.
$40. My son just got one for 100 in Virginia.
Wow.
And then he beat you.
Yeah.
Someone else in this room got one too recently.
Well, I think he got one here too, and then he got one in
Oh, so
Virginia.
that wasn't you.
No, that was my son. Yes.
Okay.
So he's 140 in the hole.
Put the car in his name if I were you. While we're on the topic of, and I know this probably should have been under new business, but for some reason it was not listed on that. But you all would have gotten an email regarding a section of our nuisance ordinance
Mm.
that is no longer up to code with state law. So I would be requesting that you authorize the town attorney to basically remove Article 2, which is subsection 271(6) through 11, which deals with excessive use of police services, as well as the hearing board for that ordinance. I would also request, we have had a complaint from citizens, and the complainant has declined to speak publicly in reference to an issue that they're having that does not fit the nuisance bill currently. It is House Bill 90, Chapter 517, the regulatory powers and control of running regulations over invasive species of bamboo. I would request that we also, that you all agree or vote on adding section into the nuisance, either under weeds and grass, just the language that adopts and allows for Kevin Jones to be able to
Site.
deal with this problem. He actually mediated the problem the first time it arose, just because we wanted to keep the peace, and it is currently a civil matter
would there be a consensus to go ahead and have Ed work on those two recommendations by the police chief? And then present back to
Ye-
council?
Yeah, but I don't know that we necessarily have to remove those sections or repeal them. I think they can just be altered, because my understanding is it's the calls of service that's the issue. We could use another criteria, like if there's actually actions taken, we could use that as a criteria to flag something as a nuisance. So like if there's arrest, if there's X number of arrests or certain actions taken.
I would be willing to have it crafted that way. I can tell you that we have not had it become an issue, while I've been chief here, so. That's why the easiest route was to just remove the sections
And
completely.
that's been here, I think it was George that
Chief,
might have,
right?
yeah, put that in place, and I don't think we've ever used it, so. I mean, it could be a consensus,
I'm open to either.
yeah,
either
that you
option.
and Ed work on some sort of language of something you want.
271-6 runs afoul of the current state statute. And it is set, the statute really has codified probably what existed anyways under due process and constitutional law, but what it's really doing, what that statute's really doing is saying that you can't place the burden of policing on landlords. And that's really what this does, is this excessive use of police services places or creates penalties for property owners whose tenants or occupants cause calls, which then creates a monetary penalty. The statute flat out says that any ordinance that does that is prohibited, which means that it's invalid. I am familiar with it in another context. I'll let you know next week whether the appellate court agrees with me or not. So it is, but it is pretty clear language within the statute. So in Smithsburg, it's only connected, it's sort of isolated. Whether you can set it up so there's some other criteria, I don't know. Whether it's needed, again, are you fixing something you don't need? I don't know. But the concept here behind this type of ordinance was that you're going to place the burden of the use of police services on the private citizen who happens to own property, who rents to people who create disruptions rising to criminal activity. So that's kind of the idea. That's probably counterintuitive to the way our criminal justice system is supposed to work. But the Maryland legislature has clearly stated that you can't pass an ordinance that does that. So at least in the context of this real property statute, which is directly on point with these excessive use of police services ordinances that exist here in this town, but also in other communities, including the city of Hagerstown. And I would assume George took this from the city because it was something that was adopted by them a number of years ago.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to see us provide instruction to the police chief and the town attorney to craft the updated ordinance in a manner which acknowledges all the chief's priorities and is congruent with current law.
Yeah.
Consensus then?
The easy approach or the simple approach is to revoke Chapter 271, Article 2, and that's the way I'll approach it. Unless the chief.
I mean,
comes up-
if it's not being used, if it's never been used, then you probably don't need it. Right.
Yeah. Now, the letter that we received cited the wrong section
It
of the
did,
code.
it did.
It's citing
It was
we're not
very
gonna
confusing at
revoke our
first.
weed ordinance.
Right.
That's that's not happening.
I'll make that as a motion.
Okay, John's gonna make it as a motion.
But we also want to add
Yeah. Yep.
A motion that we provide direction to the police chief and town attorney to work together to cover the police chief's wish list there and be congruent with current law.
Chief, if you have a copy of that House bill, maybe you can get it over to him.
I'll second it.
Any other questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So if you two want to work on that, then just let us know when you want it on the agenda, and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, a couple
Can I build this right for it?
What? Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Couple things for you, Chief. I apologize, I did not intend to ambush you with any of this, so for the record, this is the first he's hearing about it. I don't expect you to deal with it, answer anything I've said before, but I've gotten, I quite a number of residents on the end of that guide that approached me recently about speeding on those. I know it's kind of a waxing and waning thing.
Well, I can tell you that, it shouldn't have been the last 2 weeks, because since school's open, I've had an officer come down there running radar every day.
Well, it's not necessarily just the peak transport time, there's a lot of evenings, that's issues that they're concerned with as well. It was born from some of the discussions that we've had about the speed cameras. I'm not shy about the fact that I wouldn't care if we had cameras everywhere for that kind of stuff. If you're not speeding, you don't have anything to worry about. But obviously, there's limits to what we can do with all of that. We had floated just spitballing some ideas back and forth about some of those signs on a more permanent basis that actually tell you how fast you're going. I mean, I do believe some of it is just absent-mindedness. People don't realize how fast they're driving. But I'll leave that to people in the hands. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate the feedback for it. Crosswalks has been another issue that's come up. I've got a few folks that have said that they really like what Waynesboro has done with theirs there, where they actually have the push buttons in the middle, where there isn't intersection necessarily, and has lighted signs that flash at people to say, hey, there's somebody that wants to cross here. Just an idea, maybe that might be something beneficial for the bottom of the hill going across to Bird Creek Circle from guys.
We're working on that.
Yep.
And in front of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, we met with state highway representatives, RK and K, as part of the Safe Schools program, so we're working on that. Yep.
And something that's a little more near and dear to the kids as far as their crosswalks go is right at the school. I've gotten some feedback from a lot of the kids, actually, surprisingly, that the walk indicator isn't long enough when at the times that schools are coming out because there's such a crowd that goes across. So I don't know who would be involved.
I'll reach out to Doug Levine
Probably.
and see if they maintain that one.
I'll email Steve Ganley
Okay.
at the school safety office tomorrow morning and ask him. if it's
Well, you have
something-
Doug's contact, right? Levine, County Roads.
I don't know if it's all the
I
time.
know him, I don't have his direct number.
Thought I shared that with you one time. If not, let me know what Steve tells you, and then I'll reach out to Doug, and if we can adjust that.
I don't know if it's all the time that it need to be increased also, if it can just be for half-hour windows when schools let out or when they're due in, and it can be extended so people aren't waiting in traffic constantly for these walk indicators for two people to cross also. But,
That's important.
yeah, just some feedback. Thank you again for the world out there listening. I didn't mean to ambush.
No.
It's not like he's being held accountable for
No, it's,
things for weeks and weeks.
you're not ambushing me, those are easy questions.
Anything else for Chief?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
sir.
chief.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We didn't receive anything from planning and zoning, right?
No, sir.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the department reports as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You have the commission reports.
One is the EDC.
Oh, well, yeah, the
They
EDC
emailed it.
came in late on
Yeah,
Friday,
it's
and I think
here.
Brian put those on your desk.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the commission reports as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve the commission reports as submitted.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Make a comment
Oh,
on that.
yes, go ahead.
This comes up every time we have a Tuesday meeting, it's in the first couple days of the month, just between first, second, third kind of thing. Rather than try to parse the data that comes in files and parse the data that comes in the computer, we already meet twice a month. Can we just get to a point, or can we entertain a discussion about a deadline for when things have to be submitted and if they did it?
They already
But,
have.
but if they miss it, then we're not going to do these files, because this isn't fair for me to try to digest this information.
Just push it to next meeting.
So funny you brought that up.
Hold that thought, what I was going to suggest was just move whatever comes in late to the next meeting that we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that penalize anybody.
No, but that was also the reason I said about, I actually brought up the EDC portion of it, because I was actually going to say a little more, but
That's fine.
you're pretty much saying what I was going to say.
So in this instance, what happened was that very scenario was bypassed because you all were included on the email of the minutes. But Brian and I had that exact same thought, that because it came in at 3:52 on Friday, right before he left for the day.
But even so, I mean, we look at the Public Works Department, we look at the Police Department,
like with the police, with the public works, the data isn't compiled,
That's
so.
what,
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, the other stuff. there's no
John,
reason-
I'm with you, John. That makes a lot of sense, because we get here, like, I try to review everything before I get here over the weekend when I have time, and then we show up, and there's a whole
Well, then,
fresh pile of
then what we'll
papers.
do is Brian can just relay like, hey, the numbers won't be in until whatever, and you'll have it for the next month. So we'll communicate that.
No,
Or the
no,
next
next
meeting?
meeting.
That's what, well,
The next scheduled meeting.
you can have it the next scheduled meeting, but there won't be approvals of those because that's not in the agenda form for that
That's
meeting.
what I'm suggesting. Can we, if we have anything that comes in late, we don't need to penalize them for this, have it automatically included on the next agenda.
So then you want the agenda to look like the first meeting for the second meeting. Yes.
Whatever's missed, there's no reason not to. I mean,
I mean, you can, that's up to you guys.
So just make everything a regular meeting.
Yeah, then everything's a regular meeting and not a special, then we wouldn't call the second one a special session. They're just all regular meetings. That's fine.
Does that have
Is there any downside to that?
Yeah, any downside or
I don't see any
implication?
downside to it.
I mean, we're effectively functioning that way anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, I mean, there's no, a law I can do. Sorry.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, most of what we're talking about here is volunteer commissions. I mean, until we increase their pay for accountability.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a quote unquote bad behavior that we're gonna be able to address. And when it comes to the things like police and the public works, we're waiting for numbers that they don't have available until a day or two before anyway. So and that particular set of numbers, I personally would want them to be accurate and have the opportunity to digest a little bit before. So to me, it adds more value to the process for us, I should say, to just go ahead and plan for the, or honestly, the public works report and the police report to show up on the second meeting all the time. I see that as a value add, but that's just my thoughts, and I'm only one, so I mean, if you guys,
I think anything that addresses the issue with us getting stuff as far ahead in advance as possible is good for everyone.
Why don't you and Brian talk about it and see what makes sense?
well, it's not just me, it's staff.
That's what I mean,
I mean-
yeah. You know,
Yeah, it is easier, it's convenient as well for public consumption to be able to go to the first meeting of every month on the website and track and see where the information lies. So if police reports are gonna now be on the second one instead of the first one, you know, are we gonna lose the convenience of that information? I mean,
or can we just publish the police report as a separate folder?
I mean,
I mean, I mean, ideally, that's what I feel like we probably should be doing for most of these reports anyway, is publishing them as their own individual folders, so you can go back and see it. If you wanna see Public Works, you can go to October 2023, under Public Works, and see what was happening in Public Works in October 2023, without having to parse through 60 pages of a document to find what you're looking for.
you ready to hire a website manager?
Well, all these documents are already being sent out to us individually in email anyway, so.
But they're scanned in, not as an individual packet, right? Or individual folder?
No, they're
I've
individual
got
files.
saved as myself, but
Well, I guess
No.
the one question would be, you know, we obviously approve these reports, so having them in a folder by themselves doesn't necessarily mean they've received council approval. Or
So,
does it? So
some
you
of
see that, you know, that,
Some of that is a misnomer on our part too. We approve them just out of, I think, historical, it's just what we've done. It's more of an accepting report. We don't have to approve anything that they give us. We're just accepting that they've submitted it to us.
Correct.
true,
Yeah, and most of the commissions now meet 1 week prior to, there's a full week in between. And the request is the Thursday at noon before the meeting. And the only thing that is required is the posting of the agenda, correct? Is the only thing that is required. So getting the information out on a Friday at 4 is courtesy of council.
Our meeting rules say it needs to be out.
Right, but I mean, that's.
Well, we can obviously change that.
We can
but-
change those, but requirement under law, under open meetings, is just the agenda is posted.
Correct.
So everything else, Facebook, all the packet that gets sent out is courtesy and convenience to the public and to the council and staff.
I don't have any objection to having this discussion as a separate agenda item on another meeting if we need to
again, I don't know if there's several months that have, to your point, where the end of the month is a Friday before a meeting, you'll run into it. But I understand the concern of the volunteerism of commissions. It's, like I said, most of them have moved up. I know the EDC moved it up from the fourth Thursday to the third to
Right.
avoid
Yeah, to avoid this.
that problem. So, you know, it could be that the packet goes out on Monday instead of Friday. But does that give you guys enough time to review? Probably not.
No.
So, you know, like I said, I guess it's on one hand, one way. Like I said, I would only be, if we start splitting it up, is just the convenience of, you know that when you go to the first meeting, you know that the police report's there, the public works report, all the reports
Yeah,
are
I'd
there.
rather not see it split up. I mean, if we had to go back, you know, like John's saying, if there's a report that comes in late, and you couldn't do it on the first one, you put it on the second one, that's fine. It's still part of the packet, but to split them up amongst themselves, I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably come up with something on those obscure ones that outstanding reports not approved at previous meeting or something to that effect.
Or we could hold them all until the first regular meeting in the next month. So the worst thing that can happen is you'd have 2 reports from somebody.
And we've done that before. Unless there's action.
You guys can think about it, right, and come back with
Yeah,
some
why
ideas.
why don't you guys, discuss it?
My point with that was also dialogue, so I don't have a problem with you guys put more brain power into it. And
Well, and with all of that being said, I volunteered on several of these commissions. Rule was 4:30 Thursday before the weekend, period. And I've got more than one phone call for not having my paperwork in on a certain time. Love you, Jenny. So, the rules are the rules are the rules, and I know we are volunteers, and I greatly appreciate our volunteers, but I don't think it's a big ask.
And for the most part, it's not an issue, but Brian, you can check the staff. We'll come back with some sort of recommendation.
thank you.
There was a motion and a second, right,
Yes.
Jenny? All those in favor of approving the reports?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Citizen comment, everybody that's signed up. James, Kim, you guys are still good? Okay. Is on the agenda. First up, consider discuss Smithsburg Steam and Craft funding request. Mark, you're filling in this evening.
Yes, sir.
I believe Nellen filled out the information.
Yeah.
This would be hotel motel. There is already a line item under the hotel motel that was set up for a potential request. And I believe we did 15,000 based on what last year was. So it would be the same thing, whatever receipts were within, hotel motel guidelines, you would provide those to Jenny, and then we reimburse back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know some faces here, so Mark Barnhart, president of the Smithsburg Athletics Booster Club. Just more of an acknowledgement of, you know, we started this maybe 3 years ago, you know, historic type of partnership in this community that I gotta thank, you know, between David, Jim, Donnie, there might be a couple other faces that started. It is a huge donation to our company. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? Goes straight to the student athletes. It's been huge for us to help pay for expenses, so we weren't looking to ask for any more. It's broadened our marketing, it's brought more people in. Now, if I could ask for more to get 2 days of good weather, I would. But we know how that goes, so, you know, we're an open book. We made about 42 to 43,000 last year with 1.5 days, you know, and all those expenses would have just taken away from our bottom line. So this is helping pay off phase 1, which was the turf, the lights, and the track, and phase 2 is still in. We just had 400,000 from the state of Maryland, so we have $750,000 to do the team rooms, locker rooms down at the field, and additional bathrooms, variety of things. So we're We're still raising money, hope to start something next year with the board, but no, we just greatly appreciate all your support. We think it's, I think we're in the, Van would kill me, I think it's 52nd?
51st.
It's the 51st?
Wow.
So,
Last year was 50.
that's right, yeah, because we should try this out, yeah. So,
Mayor, it'd be my honor to make a motion to approve the request for Smithsburg Athletic Visitors Club for $15,000 hotel motel budget.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I will add that this is exactly what the hotel motel funds are
Agreed.
supposed to be used for.
Yep.
This is the most successful event, the most attended event that in our town, and it really is a very positive thing for our town, so, it's putting this money to good use.
thank you, I appreciate that.
Tell-
Appreciate everybody.
Tell Valen it would have been a lot harder if he was here, so.
I'm surprised he let me back in. But his daughter comes first.
Right.
If,
Amen.
we need to talk about the trash down at the field. Just
Yeah,
let me
I'll let
know
Brian, yeah.
If that's an option you want, I can easily.
Yeah, the first thing is we'll have to secure the trash, and then we'll make sure we've got an available time, and then I guess with the new AD, make sure there's no events going on down at the school that day.
She's great to work with, so.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate the offer.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
perfect. Thank you.
Stone Lane
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The next item is consider and discuss the MUCFC grant and the Meadow Test Plot for Veterans Park. So Jeanette, you're up.
So with the MUCFC grant, we were approved the money, and it's, we were just asking for your approval to receive the money, which is $986 from Department of Natural Resources for, I believe it ends up being 10 trees near the library.
Take that one first. Is there a motion?
I'll make them,
So who wants to
Second.
take it?
I'll
It's okay,
second.
so John made a motion, seconded by Dave. Any questions?
I'm just gonna say that I continue to be thankful that you have such easy motions for us. This is the easy stuff we do, and I'm grateful to have your committee that works so hard to get these things accomplished.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Jeanette, next.
All right, so the Meadow Test Plot, in the landscape design by Colleen Caballas, we have a meadow area that we'd like to start. We want to do a small test patch because of the nature of this. We don't want to do a huge 2-acre meadow and then it fail. So if you look on the paper that I gave you, there's a little tiny drawn out like blue design there. Colleen just kind of sketched that with her finger on her phone. And you see the butterfly garden below, and then the test plot would be above, just to kind of mirror the butterfly garden.
I have a question. I think there may be a scout project in the middle of that circle.
No,
No?
It's right.
it's farther up.
It's further, okay. It's north of that, it's on the other side of that? So this is below?
This
Or-
is, there's a good amount of space between the butterfly
There
garden
is, okay.
and the tranquility
Okay.
Right.
circle. I forget what we
Whatever.
called it.
Yeah. There's a big space.
Yeah. And so I put in some different reasons why we want to have a meadow. And also, there's a picture of a meadow. This is from Boyce Park Meadow in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. And I just spoke with them a couple days ago, and they've done 60 acres of meadow. And this meadow with the picture was from 2019, and it's still looking really good and doing well.
And these meadows require no maintenance?
So it's like mowing once a year
Okay.
After the planting process.
after the
right,
planting,
yeah.
right? So it's like planting and then, so mowing wouldn't be
End of
as,
season?
like,
I for- Yeah.
yeah, I think once a year and then,
Jeanette, how did you look at me?
Too soon, Brian.
So,
I'm trying to make light of it.
It's coming back.
the Meadow obviously is a handshake with the butterfly garden. It's more pollinators. It's also educational in the sense that, we will be showing people why it's important to have meadows, not just landscape lawns, et cetera. So one of the things, because I know I've seen the whole plan for Veterans Park, have all of you seen that?
Yes.
John, myself, and Dave were here
And-
Jim was
and-
here.
I was here.
in Jim.
Okay, so
I
because.
don't know if I sent it to you, Bonnie. I can send it, forward it to you.
Because I think it really does help to give,
No, that's a whole different plan. They have a presentation they put together in 2020.
I'll email you the packet.
Thank you.
but it helps to put all this in perspective. That's the reason.
Right.
And I'm, because I'm the liaison for the Parks Commission, I know more about this, but, so the idea is it would have to be marked off really well so people would recognize.
Right, and we would put signs to explain what's happening, because it might not look great for a while at the beginning. So we'll have signs that explain what a meadow does for our community, the biodiversity, the habitat, and then also make sure it doesn't get mowed down.
Will you big legible signs?
So, we just need a motion to approve the creation of a
Yes, and
meadow
it's-
test patch.
Yes, it's like 30 by 8.
Just real quick, who planted?
The Parks Commission, we're gonna, so this,
Just not super enthused about that.
or we can get Boy Scouts, they
Okay.
love being involved and stuff like that. It's really just throwing seed for this amount.
And your goal is to do it this year?
Yes, we'd like to, once we get approval, we'll start this fall. Fall's the best time to plant the meadow, so.
So John made a motion to approve the creation of a 30 by 8 approximate meadow test patch in Veterans Park.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah,
for
how
Jeanette?
long does this test run for?
A year
A year, okay.
to see how it,
So, the worst thing that can happen is it becomes a lawn again.
yeah, that's the worst case scenario, we'll turn it back
If
into.
I'm involved in it, I have no green thumb whatsoever, so that's exactly what would happen. I understand that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Next up is discuss, consider approval for the FY 2026 GOCPP grant. Chief Marker provided us a letter from the governor's office, so I'll let you go through the information.
So, the Police Accountability, Community, and Transparency Grant had a clause in it that would allow us to obtain training technology. We received the grant notification and the note at a very late hour, I guess because they were trying to determine funding at the state level. So we put together a virtual reality training program, and we, of course, had a quote for the system. And as the letter states, they're pleased to announce that they will partially fund the amount of the program for $20,317. So I went back to Axon, and they were able to, the parameters were you had to ask for a minimum of 25,000, so I don't know why we didn't keep 25,000, but I guess it's because they had an overwhelming response. So Axon was able to give us the same parameters that we had established for the grant application, and was able to get the cost down to $22,007.82. So we would be just covering out of our own budget just a brief amount of money. So, which I can actually.
Can you move the mic?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can actually, I apologize.
Nope, you're good.
I can, I have enough wiggle room in my existing budget to cover the difference.
Is there any reason not to just go ahead and use the camera of it for the
I
difference?
mean, you could.
I'll make a motion to accept the grant with the difference coming from speed camera revenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
Give me those numbers again, chief, so I can make sure I plug them in.
The grant amount that they're going to award us.
20,317.
Yep. And the,
Speed camera.
well, the total amount of the, virtual reality equipment is $22,007.82.
Is this something that needs to go out for bid?
No, because they're an existing company and it's covered under the grant.
Yeah, you're only bidding $2,000, or
Yeah.
the difference.
Well, it would have to be, the bid is for, would have to be for the whole project, just like with the POS grants.
Do they have existing,
Um,
contracts out for that?
I cannot answer that. I
I'm
can tell you-
I'm sure they did, because we,
Basically, they're billing us 5 years and $6,391. I'm sorry, that's the savings.
is this training to use their equipment? Is it just for their equipment?
Yeah, it's proprietary.
Okay, so it's
So
vendor
this
specific.
is
Okay.
something that we can also utilize for the community as well. So it is proprietary equipment. It's basically their shoot, don't shoot, tase, don't tase training, different scenarios.
But
how
it's
to deal with
equipment
mentally
of
ill
theirs that we
individuals.
have.
What's that?
It's equipment of theirs that we own.
No, we don't own. I apologize. This is to purchase new equipment under our existing contract with body cameras and tasers.
So is what you're asking, are there other vendors available? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
because we updated our procurement ordinance to allow us to piggyback on other people's bids.
That
So-
will, the problem is, it won't work with our tasers. Other companies, if they do exist, will not function with an Axon taser.
Oh, so we have Axon tasers
Yes,
right now?
yes.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
then this is proprietary, so
Yeah,
I
it's
think we have
proprietary.
that in our ordinance.
I'm
as
sorry, I
well.
misunderstood your question.
Okay,
So the amount would be.
Or you could call it sole source. Or
yeah, sole source,
Right.
right.
So just to be clear, the amount is 20,317 of the grant, and then $1,690.82 from Speed Camera, for $22,007.82.
Yes.
Okay. So that's your motion, right?
I
Who was the second? Jim was the second. Any other questions for Chief? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thanks, sir.
I would add that it's sole sourced to the motion.
I look forward to giving you all a demonstration, allowing you to use the equipment
Who's
once
gonna
we
be,
get it up and
who's
running.
gonna be tased?
No, you,
At the virtual reality.
but we, like National Night Out, we're gonna have a station up for the community to be able to utilize it next year.
Oh, that'll be
So it's gonna be
interesting.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
Thanks, Chief.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
The next is, consider and discuss Maryland Board of Elections Dropbox Agreement. This is just the standard agreement the Washington County Board of Elections submits for us to have the election Dropbox out front of Town Hall.
There's no downside to this, right?
No, it's
No.
been this for the last umpteen elections.
Were there
Ed's-
any issues in the past elections that anyone's aware of? Like no one dropped their mail off in the wrong box? or
Well,
ballots in our
that-
box?
That happened, but you can't fix that.
I'll make a motion that we direct the mayor to enter into this agreement on behalf of the town with the Washington Board of Elections.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I'll get that signed and sent in to Barry. The last thing under new business is consider and discuss the commission application appointments. We did receive the application for Earlene Smith, you're still here, to be appointed to the SCAC. She must have a ton of spare time. She's already serving on the Economic Development Committee and would like to serve on the SCAC as well. So is there a motion? Motion to approve by Bonnie Bernard. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions?
Will
All
this-
those, sorry.
Will this be in addition to your EDC? Wow.
I'll just say thank you for
Yeah.
volunteering. I know a lot of time, people spend a lot of time on these commissions, and the town is better off for everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Earlene.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Arlene.
Town council members' remarks and concerns. Dave?
So, speaking of SCAC, I think this Friday is movie in the park, is that correct?
Right.
And, you know, the SCAC is, they kind of fly under the radar, but they provide a tremendous service to this town. Every year, they put on a bunch of great events, so if there's anyone out there that wants to get involved in a committee that is very well-run and does a lot for this community, please consider signing up for the SCAC. And, you know, like was said earlier, Cinnamon Bun Fun Run, it's gonna be a great event. How many shirts do you have?
A lot more than what I need.
500?
No, I don't.
Okay, so let's try to get all those shirts given away. Over 200, all right. That'd be a great event. That's all I got.
Thanks, David. Kathy?
I was just gonna talk about the Cinnamon Bun Fun Run as well. Keep in mind, you can also walk, because there are many of us who will be doing that. So even if you don't want to run, please come out and support the Shop with a Cop initiative.
Thanks, Kathy. Anything else? Good? Jim?
No, I'm good. They said everything.
Okay. Bonnie?
Just to echo what Dave was saying about movie night, there will also be a few food trucks there available as well. So if you want to just come out and support those food trucks, have dinner, stay for the movie, or you could leave. You do not have to be present to attend and purchase from those food trucks. And again, the Cinnamon Bun Fun Run, I will walk, I don't run for anybody.
John?
Echo Bonnie, you ever see me run, try to keep up, there's some bigs chasing. Everything I think needs to be said has been said, so thank you. I continue to be grateful for all the volunteer service that people do give to the town. I think, as the mayor said, it's been said by several people tonight, and we're all there for it, so thank you.
Appreciate everyone. Information for everyone out there. The next special session meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, 7 p.m. here on the second floor of the Mickey Myers Council Chambers. The next regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, 7 p.m. I will make a note. Please put this on your calendar. We are looking at moving the October meeting, the second meeting in October, to October the 28th. Cheryl is currently working on the audit. Hopefully, we'll be able to present that on the 28th, approve that audit so that we can submit it by November 1st. And then at that same time, First United will be back to give an overview of the money markets and the financials. So we're looking at pushing that back, but I'll give everybody that heads up now.
Can we just go ahead and do that?
Well, yeah, we can. I mean, that's kind of the plan, but yeah.
I just need to know if I'm changing my calendar.
Yes, please. Yeah, so put that in your calendars. It'll be October the 7th and then October 28th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next meeting, commission meetings. Economic Development Commission will be September the 18th. First floor conference room, 7 p.m. Smithsburg Community Activities Commission will be September the 16th in the SCAC room behind the public. Parks Commission is scheduled for September the 8th, 2025, first floor conference room, 7 p.m. Planning Commission is September 9th, 2025, planning room, 7 p.m. And the Ad Hoc Commission committee is scheduled for September the 11th, first floor conference room at 6 p.m. And as Brian said, we're looking to adjust how we'll view and see our meetings, so hopefully we'll be able to report that back here soon. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.